Hi, I'm Tyler Locker, driver of the number 418 Blood Eagle 4-cylinder.
And I'm Cale Maven, driver of the number 17 Legend car.
Heyo, what's going on, everybody? We're back at it here, the Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. We were off for a week, but here we are. Got a new episode going. It's gonna be a good one. This is gonna be real good. I don't know if in the past episodes we talked about someone coming up in my area, and so we got, like I said, we got a lot to talk about. I got my buddy Kel Maven here with me, along with Levi. What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. What's going on?
You sound a lot better. Old Cal has been down for the count for the last few weeks. That's actually last week. That's one of the reasons why we ended up skipping the podcast. Cal had to call in sick. The only person I know that calls in sick on a podcast. Yeah,
Well,
you
I don't
know
think
I
you.
had to give you some. I
I
gotta give you some crap.
I know. I don't think you wanted me on last week. I wasn't feeling too hot.
Yeah, it's all good, all good. But so I mean, really, you haven't done really no racing. There actually hasn't been. I mean, the Tri-State Series down your way has been um, going at. I know they had a race at 35 this past weekend. But I mean, the Ohio Valley Series, they really haven't been running much. You guys, when was the last time you guys raced?
Last Friday in Jackson.
Oh yeah, my weeks are.
Two Fridays
I was
ago
gonna
in
say,
Jackson.
I thought, man, my weeks are really dragging then, because I thought for sure it's been a while. But yeah. So I mean, I know you don't got much really racing action going on. I mean, are you gonna be running this weekend?
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to be feeling better by this weekend, but I've already been released from my quarantine, so that's good. So if I could just get my cough settled down. I mean, I feel fine now. It's just a stupid cough, but um, there's a race at Brush Creek this weekend. I'm gonna try to make that and go see what we can do there. But the Tri-State had two races this last weekend, Friday
What?
and Saturday.
That's right. They raced at Moeller on Friday. That's right. I can't believe
Yeah,
I let that
yeah,
slip. Yep. Yep. So, oh hey, I know. I'm happy you're doing better, and 'cause I know that one day you were, man, you sounded rough. So now you sound better and
yeah,
better every time I talk to you. So that's good. I'm glad you're starting to get healthy again, and I mean, like I said, it's good to hear you getting better.
yeah. I appreciate it, man. It's just that stupid COVID thing. It gets you, boy. It knocks you down. But I mean,
Especially
I
at
was
your
in a
old
good.
age.
Yeah, I know, especially in my old age. But but I mean, like I said, all in all, I feel pretty good right now. If I can just shake this stupid cough, man, I'm ready to go. So, and I'm on vacation this week, so that'll give me another week to get healthy for work next week. We decided we're not going to go to Texas, just to stay home and get healthy and uh, just hang around here and take care of some business.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's a well, to be honest, I can't. Okay, I all my race weekends have been together. I'll tell you about last week, but and then I got actually. So Levi is up here with me. So he made the trip, the 7 hour trip, 6 7 hour trip up here to Pennsylvania. We've been hanging out all weekend. Tons of fun. Super stoked and happy that he was able to make it up and hang out and see what I talk about all the time with you guys and all that stuff. But so last last weekend, um, I can't even remember. Oh, I think I got fourth at Dog Hollow. I don't really remember what happened there, but I finished third at Latrobe, and I knew the changes we had to make for Latrobe, so I ended up making the changes throughout the week. Oh, I know what happened. I was actually in second uh, at Dog Hollow last Friday, and I was in second. Uh, caution came out. We started going again. I blew out a tire, went in, changed the tire, came back out, and ended up blowing another tire. Track was super rough. It was probably there was a big hole in 3 and 4, and there was a few holes in 1 and 2. So I blew out a tire in 3 and 4, and then when I came back out, I didn't actually miss a lap, and I ended up blowing out a tire in 1 and 2, and ended up getting tangled up and bending the tie rod. So I got that fixed Saturday during the day, and went to Latrobe. Started last in the heat, finished second in the heat race, and then car was dogging a little bit too much. I had too big of a tire on there because of 4 cylinders. That's really how you mess with the gearing is tire size really, and ended up finishing third. I think I started sixth. So it wasn't too bad last week, but yeah, this week was is pretty crazy, is for sure. But Levi, you got me. You on here? You hear us?
Yeah, I got you all loud and clear.
All right, sounds good. But yeah, no. Actually, I'm not gonna. What I want to do. What I want to do here is actually because when I say it, whenever I talk about my racing stuff, of course I'm biased. It's me. But one thing different that we can do on the podcast this week is I'm just gonna let Levi tell you what happened the weekend because he was there and such a big help at the track. No wonder why, Kel, you miss him as him being in your pit crew, even though he still is, but he's a racer now too. Because man, was it nice having him up here this week. It was fantastic. I got there. He's like, well, hey, what do you want me to do? I said, well, we could do this, this, and this, and he ended up getting all the stuff done for me, and really all I had to do is focus on driving, and that was super nice. That was one less thing I had to do, so I didn't overlook something or whatnot. But go ahead, Levi.
Going into the weekend, I made it up just in time. We met up at your house and got all the car loaded and got it up there and had a little bit of time just sitting there getting everything ready. Just spot checked everything, got it all good to go. Went, got the sign in, got all that checked out, and was getting ready to get on the track. But Dog Hollow, I gotta say, for where it is, it's the facilities are really nice there. I enjoyed getting there to watch the races because I had a pretty full program for the night. But going into the heat races, watched them and did pretty extremely well with it. And Tyler, where was it you ended up finishing? I can't remember right off the top of my head on that one.
Well, we changed that tire size. So at Dog Hollow, it's a 3/8 mile, and I had a shift, and I didn't want to shift no more, because that's just one more thing to go wrong. So I went with a real big tire size, but these everyone thinks 4 cylinders you just go out and run them, but they're so finicky. So I put bigger tires, and I left my rear tires the same. Well, with the front end up, that actually tightened the car up, and it was too tight. So I ended up finishing fifth, and I had to start ninth in the feature.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the things we noticed. Like right on takeoff, there was one time I thought you were going off the backside of the first turn because I mean that thing just shoved right up to the top. We did what we could to get it dialed back. Then next thing you know, we kind of noticed because I was sitting around with several of the guys that Tyler usually has that hangs around, family members that help him out. We were sitting there talking. We just noticed all of a sudden the car was like it was like he was having to fight it going around the corners and all that, and it was kind of wanting to fishtail a little bit coming out of the turn. He got it back, and the next thing you know, one of the racing buddies right beside us all of a sudden goes, Tyler, you might want to look at your back wheel. And we looked, and he had been a trailing arm. Next thing you know, we're beating and banging around on that thing trying to straighten up because he pretty much had as much rear steer in the car as the front was able to put out. It was pretty interesting to see, but did what we could to get that fixed. Went back out, started ninth in the feature, and fought his way up. And it was a pretty good little battle, but there was a lot of beating and banging going on in the front of the field. I mean, it was just asking for trouble if he would have went up there to get something tore up that we would have had more extensive to fix other than just a trailing arm. So finished up that night. It was kind of trying to go mulling over everything that happened for the night, getting everything back together, figuring out what the game plan was going into Saturday yesterday for the races going on up at Latrobe. But we ended up getting up, getting the car ready. We was all the initial plan was just to go and get the trailing arm replaced. We ended up going and getting that off of a backup car, um, getting that all put in. And the next thing you know is some of the guys we were racing with at Dog Hollow, we ended up going to their shop just to get some help getting that stuff put in. And those guys ended up going over that thing with a fine tooth comb, helping get things readjusted, advising what we needed to make changes on Tyler's car. Got that all squared away. The thing looked and sat so much better than what it did going into Friday night. So got that all straightened up. Ended up what we went for one thing ended up changing 50. So that was a quite a bit of aggressive changing. But man, whenever I watched him take off at the heat race at Latrobe, it was something else. Getting into that, before I get into that, we got to Latrobe. The tech there was on him before we even got the car off the trails, like as telling us stuff that was off on the bumper that was reviewed. And so that was one of the things that was a little bit stressful going into Latrobe is before we could even touch the track, we were sitting there having to realign the front bumper to make sure we could pull the outside edges in, get that all back in spec, go over the car, make sure everything was good. And going into it, we changed tires and all that, so we was on a smaller tire size than what we was running at Dog Hollow. So we got all that straightened up, got the car put together, got everything squared away, and it was just pretty much sitting there reflecting on what we're going to get ready to do, what changes were made on the car, how we thought the car was going to handle, what line we was expecting to have to run. Then then staging came up. Tyler went out there, started outside pole from the pill draw, and before they even made the flag stand, he was already 2 or 3 car lengths ahead of the pole sitter. By the end of the race, he was a straightaway ahead of the person that actually won at Latrobe the week before. So that was an impressive run in the heat race. Got back, pulled the invert, and unfortunately, out of circumstances and all that, Tyler ended up pulling a 9 for the invert. So here he was, was first place in the first feature, ended up having to start back in ninth, the inside fifth row, and going into the feature, got staged up, got everything going. So immediately on the checkered flag, you can see he was fighting around trying to find a place to get to, and then I had one caution right at the very first lap. They got everything figured out. But even by that point, he had already jumped up from ninth to fifth. So it was that car was definitely hooking up at that track big time. Got the field restaged, got everything ready to go, and then green flag dropped. Everyone was taken off. A lot cleaner of a start that time, and then they were there. There was a lot of I'd say chaos going in front, like people just trying to fight for early position and all that, and it kind of ended up being a little bit of a roadblock. But as soon as Tyler found an opening, he got right back around, and I'd say by lap 4 out of the 12 lap feature, he had already got up to second and was reeling in the leader. So here we were sitting, waiting for him to just get up there, and we could all tell that he was going to be battling that leader by the end, fighting for that win. But then a caution came in on lap 7. Stacked the field up. I was sitting there thinking in the stands, like, there's the opportunity. He's going to get the jump, get around him, because I mean, Tyler had the car to beat. There is no doubt about that. Green flag dropped. They got taken off and all that, and the lane got kind of taken away from Tyler a little bit there where he wanted, so he had to kind of bounce back just a little bit off the leader just to give him some room to make sure he could set the car up right through the turn. Then from that point on, Tyler was not letting that leader get out of his way. Um, I think at most for the rest of the race, there may have been a half a car length between the leader and Tyler getting back into it. Then that whole battle and all came down to the very last lap, very last turn. Tyler just nosed up ahead of him, and ended up being a drag race down to the front stretch to the checkered flag, and the person that was in the front the whole time just nudged Tyler out by a bumper. Like it was that close of a finish.
Oh my gosh! I thought this whole story he was going to say you won.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. That's the way it looked, and that's the way it's. Because actually, just for everyone else, Kel was listening to this story for the first time, like everybody else. We didn't tell him nothing. I told Levi, don't tell Kel nothing, because yeah, it was definitely the best race of the night. I mean, a photo finish for sure. It really sucks because actually, whenever I went into turns 3 and 4 on that last one, I looked up and I didn't see that guy, and I says, "Oh my gosh, this is it." And I what it happened. So you saw what like a fan saw, or you heard what a fan saw rather. But inside the car, um, the gear, the tire size we went to, I thought was pretty good for sure. Obviously, I mean we were running real well, but I was just still too mid to high dominant. Like if I had to go to the bottom, it wasn't happening. So in that last, what actually happened was coming out on the last lap, coming out of two, uh, it was rubbing, and it was we didn't take each other out. We were just both fighting for it, and we were banging off each other going down the back straightaway. And I had the chance to throw a slider, but I did not want to not clear him and then kind of get turned into the wall because we are moving out there. I mean I'm in third gear, so I'm tacking out at the end of the straightaway. So I mean I don't know how fast we're going. I have no idea, but third gear tacking the whole way out. We've got to be doing close to 100. So so we might be slowing down to 70 going around the turn. But yeah, so I could have did that, but coming out, I looked up and still didn't see him, and we were coming down the straightaway, and I looked over and I saw he had a run, and I wasn't gonna. It was either he was, if I would have came up, I'd have put him in a wall, and I wasn't gonna do that. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, so I didn't do it, and he ended up getting the win by a bumper, and I made sure I stopped while he was sitting there in victory lane. I stopped and told him, that was fun, dude. Congratulations, great job. Because I definitely made him work for it. I didn't give it to him for sure, but yeah, dude, it was crazy. It was nuts because I saw it right there. I saw the win, and you know, it was gone. Let it slip, and I'm not gonna lie. There was another voice in my head saying turn up, turn up, turn up, but hopefully it'll come back to me, in the long run, and hopefully next week we can go back and get another W, or not another W, get a W, not another one. But it's yeah, it was a crazy weekend, Cal. You missed it.
Sounds like it, man. Sounds like you ran a good race, though. That's a good job.
Yeah, and I just want to thank well, of course my cousin Jerry for always kind of helping me out and getting the car to where it was, and because we were always competitive and fast. That's what I didn't understand was when we got there, we kind of got singled out, especially after the heat race, which was really weird to me because I've been down there a lot this year. So I don't know what that was about, but they they made me go to the scales and stuff, and I was like the only four cylinder to do that. But obviously I'm all legal, so it's not like they're gonna catch anything. But um, and then Cruz and Brad Cruz and Tony Dolphinball. Gotta give a shout out to them for helping me with the car, during the day on Saturday, and of course Levi for all the help this weekend. Friday night at the track, and for someone who he's not around these cars, he was just so helpful, just from the get go. So just want to thank all of them for really a crazy weekend, but a fun weekend. But no, that's one thing I wanted to kind of now that Levi sees the difference and just tracks and stuff like that. We'll actually get to that here in the next segment. But I just wanted to get his input on how you guys do stuff back home and how we do stuff up here, and what similarities and what differences. That's kind of the one thing that I wanted to have him explain because it. I mean, Kelly, you can agree with me. There's different. It's different all across the United States. I mean, even classes. Like you guys do a lot of qualifying down there, like we don't. We all pill draw. You know what I'm saying? Like all those differences.
Right, right.
So
Yeah, back home in Waco, they do a lot of peel draw. So here in Ohio, uh, Indiana, and all that, they do a lot of uh, qualifying and stuff. So
yeah,
that's the differences on getting the heat races going. But
yeah,
man, I just can't believe that you drew a 9 for that invert. Well,
yeah.
what
I'm
was the
not gonna get
highest?
into that. Well, we can talk
What
off
was
air, but
what was the highest you could have drawn though?
uh, I don't know because some tracks are 12. But
Oh,
so, but that the whole I'm not gonna talk any crap on any track, especially Latrobe because they do a great job down there. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of the invert. I'm not, especially that high of a number. Six, I would deal with six, but ninth is too much. 12th is too much. That's too much. You're not giving the guy who you
work
don't.
the tail off.
Yeah, I might as well just. I just might as
Yeah,
well just said, hey, I'm just gonna wait till I'm not gonna come in and run a heat race. I'm just gonna go to the tail because I was basically starting at the tail.
yeah,
So there was no sense of running a heat race for me. None. So
yeah,
that was crazy. But I mean, I wish they would do that a little different. But everything else they do a fantastic job down there. And
yeah.
hey, Levi can vouch. The the um, what's the word I'm trying to think of? The level of driver, I guess you could say, from Dog Hollow to Latrobe, because I didn't race with anybody that I raced with on Friday, but
Oh wow.
just the drivers from Dog Hollow to Latrobe, and how I always preach, and I tell the track guys down at Latrobe that all the classes down there, they got they got really good drivers, really respectful drivers, and we had that one caution, but I think in total in the four-cylinder class, uh, probably four cautions the whole night. That's all three heat races. That's a B main. That's a A main. Three cautions. Heck, we had three cautions. You know, in the first heat race at Dog Hollow. So it's just the level of driver and stuff down there is. You hear me? I'm a huge fan of Latrobe, and they do a great job down there. Everybody.
Yeah. Levi, did you see any of the modified type cars that we run down here?
Nope, there is actually not a single modified anywhere we were at Dog Hollow. Well, they had an extra class, which is they had the Open 305 sprints they were running, but other than that, it was a class they're trying to start up at Dog Hollow, which is pretty nice. It's like what we call bombers back home, but it's was it pure stock up here, Tyler?
Yeah, it's called Pure Stock. Yep, Rush the
Okay,
Rush series.
it's a pure stock, which uh I know a lot of them at the Dog Hollow where they're trying to start the series up. They run 602 crate motors in theirs. But they also had crate late models and super late models there as well, along with the four cylinders racing that night. So it was a pretty packed night for racing. But and then Latrobe they had two different classes of they had pure stock and pro stock there, along with crate late model and the four cylinder. So up in here, I didn't really see much of anything on UMP or IMCA modifieds or sport mods. So that was a nice change of pace to see a different classes of cars run than what we see back down home normally.
Yeah, did you also say that you about the sprints? Because they had sprints on Friday as well. They had the 305, the I don't even know what series it was, but that class that they're starting up with the pure stocks is like Rush series, like the Rush series pure stocks. There's not many of them because they're just trying to start up, but they I mean, I could definitely see it working. I mean, just like the crate class, whenever the crate class came up here years ago, I remember there was only three or four of them. Now look at them. I mean, they're everywhere. So I could definitely see it because that helps keep costs down, and it gives us like four-cylinder guys if we want to move up, we don't got to break the bank to do it. So just one of those things. But yeah, it was like I said, it was very nice to hear like the different kind of stuff that you guys do back home, and the different cars that that we run up here. And I mean, yeah, we are far, but we're just a state away. You know what I mean? It's not like we're talking about Florida or we're talking about Texas or anywhere like that. We're really kind of close, but just a different kind of stuff. The same with the Legend cars. The Legend cars they run in PA, but they run on the east side, and I'm on the west side. So then everyone he talked to up here, um, yeah, that was one thing that was said is like, yeah, they really don't race them, and I always brought you up, Cal. I says, yeah. Well, I tried telling my buddy Cal that, but he wouldn't believe me. So,
Hey, I got
but
a question for you.
yeah. Oh, Levi.
Did you? No, good question for you.
Wow.
Did you, since Levi drove all that way, did you take him to Chick-fil-A?
No, I did not take him to Chick-fil-A. I just gave him some uh with Wendy's. Some.
Wendy's and Red Baron Pizza.
Oh yeah, yep. That's how we do it. Some Wendy's and Red Baron. Well, really, we didn't have time because he got here around 3 on Friday, and then as soon as he got here, we pretty much loaded up and left for the track, and then we were at the races until 11:30. Came home pretty much both passed out, and then by in the early morning hours we were already going up and getting stuff for the car, and had to make a few trips to a few different places. So um, it was just hilarious. I'm like, well, see, dude, this is what I do every weekend. Pretty much break stuff on Friday. I gotta hurry and fix it Saturday to go race Saturday night. And yeah, it's just like I said, hilarious because you guys always hear me talk about it. It's nice for him to finally see the what I go through on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it was pretty nice too. Like actually being up here, turning the wrenches on the car, helping out in the pits, just get to see all the stuff that goes into what we think. Honestly, what we went through in pits, what I went through in pits, helping Tyler get ready for both races, was way more extensive than anything I see in the pits back home. Like I honestly, it really humbled me on how much work we have to do with us. Even what I do with my car, it humbled me on how little we actually have to do to keep our cars ready from race to race. Like honestly, like I feel like the only thing we really do in between is just okay, check tire pressure, add some fuel if we need it, and we're good to go. Whereas at one point, I mean, we felt like we were going to have to take the whole back half of Tyler's car apart to make sure we can get a part on it, just so he could even grid up to get a decent position, finishing position on Friday. To chucking in what we thought was going to be like maybe a half hour, maybe an hour's worth of work on Saturday to end up working upwards. I think it was between 5 and 6 hours we put in on that car on Saturday just to get up to. And I mean, we were 2 minutes for pill cut off at Latrobe getting there and getting everything set up.
And it's not like really. It's not like I don't go over my car or I let stuff go. I don't. It's just that's what it takes from week to week. And then you try to do it between race and race. A few hours. 24 hours, not less than 24 hours apart from each other. It's just that's just how it is. Well, he's just seeing how my luck is too. So that's another thing. A lot of guys. I mean, some guys up here they don't. They just you know. Um, I mean, after Latrobe, really, we had an hour's worth of work. Just to check over some stuff. Change oil, do little stuff like that. But I mean, for us up here in the four cylinders, I mean, we're sitting there the whole entire time in between races, figuring out what set we're going to go with for the feature. Like what tire size we're going to go with, what if we're going to change tires in the back or we're going to change an offset or I mean it's very extensive, especially if you want to win because like how Rob said, I mean the top six can win. I mean everyone's so close, so you got to make sure you're on your game and you make the right decisions. Kind of just like how the light models are, and how they're sitting there, they're thinking about changing bars and stuff. I mean we're kind of doing the same thing with what we have. We can't change a bar to get more whatever, tighten it up, loosen it up. We use tires and offsets to loosen our cars and tighten our cars and all that stuff. And so yeah, it's crazy every weekend. I mean, so I mean that's it. That's why we made this podcast was for a little guy because everyone thinks we just throw a cage in a car that we just got done driving on the road and go, and that's not the case. I mean, the more you look, the more you're gonna find. To be honest, I mean, no car's ever 110% perfect. And this past Saturday was prime example. I mean, I had a good enough car really, and we could have went down there Saturday and we probably would have had almost the same result. But making those changes and going over everything again and doing all that kinds of stuff, it just makes you better and it's just a lot of work and you got to be willing definitely to do it if you're going to get into racing. Right, Cal?
That's right, brother. That's right. Well, at least you're heading in the right direction, getting that
Yes,
second
I
place
got it
finish.
out of
So,
you. I got it out of you. Yes.
yeah, It's
Nah, I mean, that's what I mean. We've been
that's
doing good down there. I mean, Latrobe, we got,
yeah,
we're on track for sure. It was just, what was hilarious. It was, everyone came up to me afterwards saying, "Oh, that was awesome. It was a good run," and I'm throwing stuff because I was so upset that it was there, and I'm like, I'm not mad because I can't. Yeah, I know I came from ninth and to the front, but man, I had it, and I let it slip. I get more mad at myself than if like somebody would hit me or something, because I can't change how he drives or what he does, but I can change what I do. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. I mean,
yeah,
you're definitely fighting the inner demons for sure.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So now in other news, um, one track that Rob, who we had on the podcast, was trying to get me to go to, Eldora. The compacts were up at Eldora this weekend, and I know Rob didn't have any luck. He didn't have any luck at all. But I do know that actually there was a car that was racing down Brush Creek, the 132. I'll get his name here in a minute, but he ended up winning, and I heard it was good racing, and of course it was a good turnout. I mean that's a given. But I haven't talked to Rob yet. I was gonna get a hold of him and ask him some questions about the track and stuff because that would have been something cool to go up and race or even watch really. But yeah, I mean I know like I said the SCDRA was up there and stuff and uh, all that, and actually I'll get that guy's name here in a second. But what happened down your way, Cal?
This weekend, the Tri-State Legend Car Series was running this weekend, and they were at Moeller Raceway Park on Friday night, and won a Ohio Valley Legend Car Series regular. Won it. Tyler Scott won that race. Um, and then the very next night, the series went to 35 Raceway over in Frankfort, Ohio, and Ronnie Niehaus brought his brand new race car out and won that one. So that was a good weekend for them guys.
Decent, decent. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's good to see Ronnie doing good, and especially with the new car that he got and all that stuff. I know, like I said, I got the name here. It's Brandon Gibson. He picked up his first career win in the SCDRA series, and couldn't do it at a bigger stage really in Eldora. All the top guys are up there. I know a lot of guys from down south, made the trip up and all that, and then Jay Orr and he got second, and Eddie McGrew was third. I heard it was a photo finish, so I didn't get a chance to check it out on Flow, but I'm gonna go back and find some videos and see what's all going on. Like I said, there was a few guys up there that I know that ended up going up, but I'll talk to them here in probably this week, see what's all going on. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to make some shows for sure. I know next weekend it's a back-to-back SCDRA Northeast. One Friday night is at Thunder Mountain. There's just no way I can make that one will work. I'm pretty sure that's $2,000 to win, and then Saturday is at Hidden Valley. So I got a decision to make if I'm going to go run this series and stuff. If I'm going to do it, I like to go to uh, uh, Hidden Valley. It's like it's another $2,000 to win show up there, but I'm real caught because man, I know I could get a win down. Eventually, I can get a win down Latrobe, and that's the series race or summer series race down there, and we're doing pretty good in points. So I got to make a decision if I'm gonna go run for this money or like I planned on doing, or if I'm just gonna just go run Latrobe. I'm not sure yet. I'll make a decision throughout the week though. But yeah, so but you got anything else, Cal?
I don't think this week. I think I'm gonna try to make Brush Creek on Saturday if I'm feeling up to it, and I'm sure Levi will be there. Um, I mean that's all I got this week.
Yeah, I mean you were like I said you were feeling under the weather, so I know like I said I knew you weren't gonna have much, especially racing wise, because you guys haven't raced for 3 weeks, but or 2 weeks rather. But yeah, no, that's gonna be nice getting having you get back in the car and go out there and fly that eagle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just sorry,
No, you're good.
just trying to catch my breath.
Yeah, no, you're
Just
good.
gonna just gonna try to put that car closest front as possible and get as many points. So just see what we can do. And what mainly, I just want to go have fun. That's that's why I do this. Have fun, and it's a long, uh, lifelong dream of mine. It was to race. So I'm having a blast, and with Levi's help, makes it even more fun.
Yeah, yeah, I can see why. Yeah, for sure. It was nice having him up here, and next time he comes up, you're gonna have to come up too.
Definitely, definitely.
So, but all right, well, that's all we got here for this week on the podcast. It's gonna a little quick show here, little quick show. We're gonna be back to normal
Oh,
schedule next week. And I'd like to thank some of our sponsors, First Guardian and old cold cold Dominion over there. Sorry, Cal, I had to take it from you. But yeah, old cold Dominion over there, First Guardian. Make sure you go check him out, the Facebook page. And if you have any questions or anything, make sure you get a hold of him, and he'll get you squared away. You definitely want to. You got to be safe in the race car. We always preach it on here. We say it every week. Every week, got to be safe. And his program he got going on over there is real good, and it's for the racer. And scan that code. They all the first responders and everything know what's up, and they can get you taken care of quick, and you can get back to racing. So yeah, so for sure go check him out. And yeah, we'll be back to the regular show next week. We'll get a guest stuff on here. Like I said, last 2 weeks have been rough. With Cal, and I wanted to make sure Levi was on here and discuss the differences between Ohio and here and all that jazz. So, but we'll catch everybody next week.
worldwide.